Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Δεν ξέρω αν με ακούτε, αλλά μπορώ να δω τα σχόλιά σας. Οπότε, αν με ακούτε, μπορείτε να γράψετε στα σχόλια για να δω ότι είμαστε OK με τον ήχο. Και λογικά πρέπει να βλέπετε μπροστά σας μία διαφάνεια που λέει για τους 4 πυλώνες. Ωραία, βλέπω Κύρκη, έχω ένα ναι. Οπότε, έχουμε και την εικόνα. Να το επιβεβαιώσουμε. Αν έχουμε και εικόνα, ακόμα καλύτερα. Πολύ ωραία. Με ακούτε και λογικά ας επιβεβαιώσει κάποιος ότι έχουμε και εικόνα. Πολύ ωραία. Θα περιμένουμε λίγο χρόνο. Η Σάρα είναι στην γραμμή. Απλά θα περιμένουμε λίγο να μαζευτούμε, να πάρουμε τις θέσεις μας αναπαυτικά. Έχετε λίγο χρόνο να πάρετε το χυμό σας ή λίγο just ή λίγο fab ή οτιδήποτε, γιατί δεν έχει τελειώσει η μέρα, όπως ξέρουμε. Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ που είσαστε εδώ. Λοιπόν, τσαγάκι επίσης, μπράβο, πολύ ωραία ιδέα. Ωραία. Ξέρω ότι μας ακούνε και από την Κύπρο, οπότε έχουμε FBOs από Ελλάδα και από Κύπρο. Έχουμε άλλα 5 λεπτά, οπότε ό,τι είναι αυτό που έχει μείνει για 5 ακόμα λεπτά, έχετε ελεύθερο χρόνο να το κάνετε και μετά θέλω την προσοχή σας. Κάποιος μου λέει ότι δεν έχει εικόνα. Λογικά η εικόνα πρέπει να είναι εκεί. Καλησπέρα Κατερίνα. Για επιβεβαιώστε μου αν έχετε εικόνα. Αυτό που πρέπει να βλέπετε είναι μια διαφάνεια που είναι οι 4 πυλώνες. Φυσικά αν έχετε ερωτήσεις για τη Σάρα, αυτό που μπορούμε να κάνουμε είναι να τις γράψετε. Πολλοί από εσάς ήδη το έχετε χρησιμοποιήσει, οπότε μπορείτε να δείτε στο παραθυράκι που υπάρχει να γράψετε την ερώτησή σας και εγώ μετά θα τη μεταφέρω στην ίδια, ώστε στο τέλος, αν έχει μείνει λίγος χρόνος, να απαντήσουμε κάποιες ερωτήσεις. Sarah, if you hear me, I'm just saying to the attendees that if there is any time at the end to take any questions, they could send them to me and then I will forward them to you and let them know if you could answer them.
Yes, no, of course.
Super. Για επιβεβαιώστε μου τώρα αν έχουμε εικόνα. Πολύ ωραία. Λοιπόν, έχουμε εικόνα. Εντάξει, το μαθαίνω κι εγώ. Η αλήθεια είναι ότι είναι το πρώτο webinar που κάνω χωρίς την παρουσία της Άντζελας, οπότε το μαθαίνω. Λίγη υπομονή και συγγνώμη για την λίγο ταλαιπωρία. Αλλά όλοι χρειαζόμαστε, έτσι δεν είναι, να μάθουμε λίγο καλύτερα την τεχνολογία και να τη χρησιμοποιούμε προς όφελός μας. Φυσικά υπάρχει χώρος στο webinar αυτό, οπότε αν ήδη έχετε μιλήσει με την ομάδα σας, μπορείτε ακόμα να τους πείτε ότι υπάρχει λίγος χώρος, καθώς οι θέσεις είναι περιορισμένες. Με το που φτάσει ο ακριβώς αριθμός, ουσιαστικά ξεκινάμε κιόλας. Απλά σας το λέω γιατί κάποιο μήνυμα, κάποιο τηλέφωνο μπορεί να υποφελήσει κάποιον FBO της ομάδας σας. Οπότε έχετε λίγο χρόνο ακόμα να τους ειδοποιήσετε αν δεν το έχετε κάνει ήδη. Nikki, you're asking me if there's going to be a reply. Yes, there will be a reply to your questions. So let's see how much time we have left, and have Sara to answer any of your questions if you have any. Λοιπόν, ας ξεκινήσουμε. Όπως σας είπα και προηγουμένως, έχουμε θέσεις, οπότε μπορείτε να στείλετε ένα μήνυμα ή να πάρετε κάποιο γρήγορο τηλέφωνο και να τους ενημερώσετε ότι μπορούν να μπουν στο webinar. Ιδανικά, αυτό που εμείς θέλουμε και πιστεύω θέλετε και εσείς, είναι όσο περισσότερα άτομα μπορούν να μπαίνουν σε αυτά τα webinar, καθώς τους δίνει δυνατότητα να μην χρειαστεί να ταξιδέψουν, να μην χρειαστεί να μπουν σε αμάξι ή στα μέσα συγκοινωνίας για να έρθουν σε φυσική παρουσία να δουν το σεμινάριο. Μπορούν από το σπίτι τους. Πιστεύω αυτό είναι το πολύ όμορφο σε αυτά τα σεμινάρια, καθώς μπορεί όλος ο κόσμος, όλοι οι FBO, όπου και αν βρίσκονται, να πάρουν την πληροφορία που είναι τόσο σημαντική. Με χαρά λοιπόν θέλουμε να ξεκινήσουμε το πρώτο webinar με θέμα το marketing. Έχουμε ξεκινήσει τα webinar με τον Κωνσταντίνο και τη Βίκη στα προϊόντα που είναι τόσο σημαντικά, αλλά ξέρουμε επίσης ότι είναι πολύ σημαντικό και το κομμάτι που αφορά το marketing και είναι κάτι το οποίο φυσικά πρέπει συνέχεια να κουμπάμε και εμείς ως εταιρεία και φυσικά και εσείς ως ιδιοκτήτες επιχειρήσεων forever, καθώς με αυτόν τον τρόπο δείχνουμε στους νέους μας και στους υπάρχον FBO το δρόμο για να έχουν ανάπτυξη και να μην έχουν απογοητεύσεις. Εδώ λοιπόν η πρώτη διαφάνεια είναι το 4core, οι λεγόμενοι 4 πυλώνες. Φυσικά τα webinar που θα ακολουθήσουν, αυτό είναι το πρώτο όπως σας είπα, έχουν να κάνουν με το πιο σημαντικό κομμάτι στην επιχείρησή μας, που πρέπει να εστιαστούμε για να έχουμε αποτέλεσμα. Αυτό φυσικά είναι οι 4 αυτοί πυλώνες. Οι πυλώνες οι οποίες ο πρώτος πυλώνας είναι η εγγραφή, είναι δηλαδή ο αριθμός των ανθρώπων που φέρνουμε εμείς προσωπικά στην επιχείρηση. Το δεύτερο κομμάτι είναι η διατήρηση, δηλαδή οι άνθρωποι οι οποίοι ήρθαν να παραμείνουν μαζί μας και φυσικά εδώ έχει να κάνουμε και με πελάτες λιανικής. Το τρίτο κομμάτι είναι η παραγωγικότητα, είναι ο αριθμός των προϊόντων που αγοράζουμε εμείς και η ομάδα μας, αυτό συνεχώς να αυξάνεται, αλλά και ο αριθμός των προϊόντων που χρησιμοποιούμε να αυξάνεται. Εδώ φυσικά έρχεται πολύ και το κομμάτι της εκπαίδευσης των προϊόντων, που φυσικά μας ενημερώνει η Βίκη και ο Κωνσταντίνος. Και το τελευταίο κομμάτι είναι η ανάπτυξη. Η ανάπτυξη είναι λίγο πιο σύνθετος, ένας πιο σύνθετος πυλώνας, αφορά περισσότερο τα κίνητα της εταιρείας, που εκεί φυσικά έρχεται η μεγαλύτερη ανάπτυξη. Σήμερα έχουμε τη χαρά να έχουμε μια FBO από την Αγγλία. Είναι η Sara Harris, η οποία δέχτηκε το κάλεσμά μας, η οποία θα μιλήσει συγκεκριμένα πάνω στο κομμάτι της ανάπτυξης και της συντήρησης των ανθρώπων μας, συγκεκριμένα των πελατών μας, των πελατών λιανικής. Ένας τομέας που ξέρω ότι θέλει ανάπτυξη, καθώς δεν επωφελούμαστε όλοι από αυτό το σημαντικό κομμάτι που λέγεται λιανική πώληση. Και φυσικά η λιανική πώληση μας διδάσκει πάρα πολλά πράγματα και ένα από τα πράγματα είναι, και ένα από τα σημεία αυτά είναι βέβαια και η εξυπηρέτηση και το customer service, που είναι τόσο σημαντικό για να κρατήσουμε, να διατηρήσουμε τους ανθρώπους μας ενεργούς, ζεστούς και να τους διατηρήσουμε κοντά μας. Ένας άλλος πυλώνας που θα αγγίξουμε σήμερα είναι και το κομμάτι της παραγωγικότητας. Πόσο παραγωγικοί είμαστε εμείς, και εδώ φυσικά έχει να κάνει και με το χρόνο μας. Οπότε δεν θέλω να πάρω περισσότερο χρόνο, θέλω απλά να πω δύο λόγια για τη Σάρα. Η Σάρα είναι στο δίκτυο της Sans Local, θα σας μιλήσει και η ίδια. Μου την πρότεινε η ίδια ως την κατάλληλη FBO για να μας μιλήσει για αυτούς τους δύο πυλώνες, τη διατήρηση και την παραγωγικότητα. Θέλω να την ευχαριστήσω πάρα πολύ, γιατί φυσικά έχει πάρει από το δικό της προσωπικό χρόνο, της οικογένειάς της και της ομάδας της, για να μιλήσει εδώ σε εμάς, στους FBO από Ελλάδα και Κύπρο, και φυσικά το κάνει αφιλοκερδός. Αυτό είναι το πολύ όμορφο, να είμαστε στην οικογένεια της Forever και να μπορούμε να βοηθάει ο ένας τον άλλον, ανεξάρτητα από, δεν έχουμε σύνορα, όπως ξέρετε, δεν έχουμε τίποτα να μας χωρίζει, δεν έχει σημασία σε ποια ομάδα ανήκετε. Εμείς ως Forever κοιτάμε να δίνουμε υποστήριξη σε όλους, και ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ τη Σάρα που θα δώσει το χρόνο για να σας πει κάποια πράγματα. Σάρα, thank you very much for being here and basically starting the webinar series with your talk. I just explained a few things about you and that you are not being paid to devote your time here with us. So thank you very much for that. We're really grateful for it. And I'll pass you as a presenter so you could start your training. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, Michael. So is it Kalispera?
Yes.
Are we at that time of the evening, or is it Kalanita? I can't even know how to pronounce it.
We will. You could open with Kalispera and you could close with Kalinichta.
Right, perfect. I like to try and learn a little bit of Greek when I'm on holiday, but don't learn much more than that, so my apologies. So let me put my slides up. Can you all see my slides okay, yes? Let me just double check you can see them.
Let me stay on the call for a second just to make sure that everybody's seeing what you're seeing. I'm not seeing myself, so no, I'm not seeing them myself, so I guess they're not seeing it too. 1 second.
Okay, hold on. Let's just double check. Share my slides.
Αν βλέπετε τις διαφάνειες, okay, yes, everybody's seeing it, and I'm confirming. Okay,
perfect.
Excellent.
I'll start now then. Thank you. So good evening, everybody, and Kalispera. Thank you for inviting me on this evening. And obviously, I met Michael when I was over in Greece, when we stayed at the beautiful Western resort down in Castanova, Reno. I do come to Greece quite often. I spend every summer three weeks of my summer break at the beautiful Sani resort, which is down in Thessalonica. So I love Greece. It's a beautiful country. So it's my pleasure to try and give my views, my tips, my successes that you can take away and apply to you individually, because the great thing with what I believe Forever is a sharing business that we can learn from others. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you adapt it to who you are as an individual. So you can see there I've achieved a few things. I've achieved Chairman's bonus this year. Obviously I'm pushing for Eagle. I haven't quite hit Eagle for Rock the Boat, but I will be on that boat. And as you see there in the UK, we have an incentive for 100 clubs. So when you grow your open business to 100 cc's or more consecutive, that's 2 years of being in the 100 club with my open business. And this full year, I've been in the top 20 within the UK every month. So that's a really exciting sort of accreditation to have, but really proud that I have an incredible team that I work with. So I'm going to talk a little bit about me so you can understand my background and you can understand why some of the questions I've been asked that I've put into some slides, and I'm going to ask you that you can relate to how I've achieved it, where I've come from, but how you too can do that, because none of us are different. We might come from a different background, we might have a different journey, but we all have the same toolkit. So this is me some years ago, I hasten to add, and that's me meeting the Queen. I left school and went straight into the military. I had 12 amazing years in the military. I was in the army. and I've travelled the world, I've been to war zones, and I've been really fortunate. I've loved what I did, and in 2000 I was awarded an MBE, which you can see here. So I'm a member of the British Empire, and I was the youngest person ever to receive that award off the Queen. It seems so long ago, nearly 17 years ago. I was only a baby then. So my background was nothing to do with sales, nothing to do with this type of network marketing. It was going and being a good ambassador for my country, serving my country and helping people. So I left the military in 2001 and went into that big bad world we call Civilian Street. And I didn't quite know what I was going to do because my skills weren't transferable. I was part of plotting with a huge team, obviously, in government, where we were going to bomb or where we were going to go to war at, not where I was going to go and sell a product. So my skill wasn't transferable when I left the military into Civilian Street. But I sort of went into the telecommunications space. It was a great career, don't get me wrong. However, it was a very, very male-dominated sector. I spent the best part of 13 years, I climbed the corporate ladder. I literally gave my life. I worked a 90-hour corporate week, 90 hours. 7 months of the year in chunks, I'd be out of the country. I'd be in Asia. I did a lot of India, America, some of Europe. So I wasn't home a lot. And that was okay, because when you're pushing a career and you're trying to be the best you can be and be the best ambassador for yourself, you will do what it takes to a point. And that was, I sacrificed time. I was married, I am married. My husband's Stuart, and we both work this business together. Well, I call him the silent partner. He comes out when it's a photo shoot and he brings in some customers, but he has a very, very demanding job, and my sole purpose was with Forever to have time. So I had an amazing career within the telco space, as you can see here. I was the face of the telco communications sector and very well known within the marketplace. But in 2009, life changed. So this is my beautiful little girl, Poppy, who's going to be 7 this Christmas. Yikes. But for me, I was always that career girl. It wasn't that I ever didn't want children, but it was never on my agenda. And Poppy's, I think, 3 days old there in that picture up to the left. And I realised soon after I had her that there was no way I could be doing the job I did. But right up until I had Poppy, I worked 1 week before. I stopped working 1 week before I had her, still commuting day in, day out into London, of a 4-hour commute every day. But I didn't realise that life would change so much. And I might have been a bit naive, but I just didn't. I just thought, well, I'll just be able to pick it up as I go and it will be okay. But I soon realised after only having a short maternity leave that it wasn't okay. And actually, I wanted something different. So you all recognise the beautiful Ange Lochran. Now, Ange and I actually knew each other before Forever. I actually was in the army with Ange's husband, Dave. So Dave and I knew each other in 1990. The great thing of Facebook, we reconnected in 2009, at the early part of 2009, and that's where I met Ange. We got talking online, never met her in person at that point, but we just built an incredible friendship. In 2010, I had Poppy December 2009, and then just December, no, it wasn't December, it was July 2010, sorry, we went out to Lanzarote, and I spent 3 weeks at one of Ange's villas that she rents out. That was the first time I met her in person. And at that point, Ange actually wasn't in Forever. She was still a business entrepreneur in what she did prior to Forever. And she's actually still got those businesses. The reason I'm sharing this with you is you can understand how the power of Facebook and building relationships is really key. Now, Ange didn't spam me when she joined Forever. She joined Forever in September. She sent me a quick message and she said, Sara, you need to try one of our products. I know you're going to love it. It was the Clean 9. She knew I was into my health and fitness. We as a family are into our health and fitness. And she shared the product with me, and I absolutely loved the product. I had amazing results. And so much so that she said to me after using the product, you need to join this business. And I said, no. And I continually said no for 2.5 years. However, I was a massive customer. I probably use over 4-5 case credits a month. I gave Angela 38 customers and some team members, or some of those customers went into team members. But I could have taken that retail, that custom, but that wasn't for me because I was already a significant 6-figure income earner. So I'm not sure what that is in euros, but from a UK perspective, I was £100,000 plus and some as an income that I was bringing in, basic, without bonus and other perks on top. So for me, I already had a comfortable life. I already had a very good income, and I already had sort of choices to a point, but I didn't have time. So you're thinking, what changed? Well, for 2.5 years, I'm watching Ange build this incredible business online. I literally watched afar because she's in Spain and I'm in the UK. And she kept promoting she was going to the gym 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11, and I thought, do you know what? What is it that she's doing? I obviously knew there was a product, but because Ange never talked about the opportunity, I absolutely thought this business was all about selling. I didn't have time to sell. You heard me just say I work a 90-hour week. Well, I did. So for me, this wasn't an option. I didn't have time to add anything in. I was already sacrificing time to be with this one. So something had to change. So in January 2013, I listened into an online business presentation. We also host them in person in the UK. But I actually listened in online one Sunday night, and I sort of liked what I heard, and I messaged Ange that night and said, I'm in. And she was like, what's changed? And I said, I need time. You've got time and I need time. And I want to spend more time with my daughter. I don't want someone else bringing her up. I had a nanny, full-time nanny, and Poppy was in full-time childcare. She's now at school, and I didn't want to miss out on anything more. I'd missed so much. You know, I'd leave the house at 5:30, 6 in the morning. I'd get home maybe 8, 10 o'clock at night. I'd be overseas for 2-week stints. That isn't what I wanted. And given I can't have any more children, I didn't want to miss out. So I jumped on board because time is so, so precious. You do not get time back. This business changes the lives of those who want it and for those that are willing to take a look. So this was a typical day that I used to do in Forever when I first started. Now, I'm not saying people need to get up at 4:30 in the morning, but I was a runner lover. So if I was going to sacrifice time and find time in my already busy day, then I had to fit my run in somewhere. So I was prepared to do my run in the morning. In my window 6 till 7, that was building relationships. It was connecting with people, sending out messages. And then you could see I'd go to breakfast, my nanny would arrive, I'd then go to work. This is when I was in the UK and I was in the office. Depending on where I was, I couldn't work my business during the working day. If I was lucky, I might be able to make a phone call in between meetings. I'd nip off, pretend to get a coffee. And then if I got home in time, I'd maybe get half an hour with Poppy. So you can see, I had very, very little time with my little girl. And then I'd have dinner if there was time, or a shake on the go. And then I'd work my Forever business 8 till 10 o'clock. So that was the window I sacrificed for going to the gym. So I'm not saying I was at the gym 8 till 10. It might be that I'm watching some rubbish on the TV, just a down, a chill, before I then go back to my day job. I do that every night. So I didn't have a lot of time, but the time I had, I made sure that I was doing income-producing activities. I was looking for retail customers. I was being productive with my time. I was looking for productivity, and that would relate to me, new customers, it would result in new team members, and it would result in growth. And then you can see I'd then work, go back to my day job, and then I'd go to bed. And I did that for 16 months. Weekends, I'd maybe spend a couple of hours at the weekend working my business, but that was my family time because I had no family time. So I then wrote my resignation letter in January. I'm trying to think now. When did I write that? January 2015. I had to give 3 months' notice to my employer, and I actually walked away from my. This is me writing my resignation letter. I didn't know at that point to resign, but I wrote my resignation letter that I'd leave, write it in January, hand it in January, and then leave for the April. But actually what happened was I was able to hand in my notice and I walked away from my corporate career on the 8th of October 2014. So that was some 6 months ahead of what my dream was. This was my goal. I wrote this letter, I had it pinned to my dream board because goals need to be visual. You've got to place them, you've got to date them, and then I worked towards that goal. And I've never looked back since. What it's enabled me to do, so these pictures are a little bit older now, don't have hair that length anymore, but it's given me the balance, the freedom, the life, and basically I get to help other people. But more importantly, I've got time with my little girl, which is just priceless. I don't ever have to worry about her having to go into childcare during the summer holidays or clubs. If she wants to go to the clubs, that's fine, she can, but it's a choice, isn't it, at the end of the day? So this is now a typical day. I get up, the alarm, it's slightly changed. We'll do my mindset. We actually had a very, very bad burglary in June this year, so we've actually moved house. But we sort of, and the commute to school is a little bit longer, but we have breakfast together, we then go and do the school run, and then when I get home from the school run I do my exercise, and that's baked into my schedule every day because I feel it's really, really important. But actually now, because I home exercise or I run closer to home and I don't go to a gym, my time is more efficient. And then I work my forever business probably from 9:30, 10 o'clock till 2:30, 3 o'clock, as you can see there on the screen. And then I get in the car and I drive the commute to get Poppy from school. And then we have Poppy time. Now, I'm doing this in Poppy time, and there are occasions when I do, but I don't normally sacrifice that time. That time is why I joined Forever. That is where we make stuff, we read, we bake. Today, what have we done? Because it's been raining here and it's cold and horrible, we've snuggled up on the settee and we've watched a film. We've had the blanket over us and we've had a nice hot chocolate each. So we've been able to do that. I could never have dreamt of doing that before Forever. So that Poppy time is never normally sacrificed unless I believe there's a gain for someone. And then 8 till 11 or whenever I need to, I work my Forever business. Because most of my team work this business around a family or a corporate career, so I have to fit them in where their schedules allow. And then I always finish on mindset meditation, and that is a typical day for me. In the Forever time, I'm doing income producing activities, which is I'm looking for retail customers, I'm building relationships, I'm sharing the products, I'm doing follow-ups, I'm going to events, I'm networking with people, I'm building and working a business. That is my time when I go to work. I treat this no differently than a corporate career, because if you don't treat it like a business, it will cost you, and it's a hobby. It's not a business, and a business shouldn't cost you. We're here to earn an income rather than be in debt. So for me, it is all in the detail, and it's how you plan your activity. Now, this is my toolkit. I've got my laptop, I've got my daily trackers, I add to my Who Do You Know list every day, I have my diary, in my folder is my 1 to 31 and my January to December, and then at the front of that folder I've got my Who Do You Know that I add to every day, and I write it out because it makes it more succinct. I've then got my tracker, so I have a sheet for every day of the 10 minimum people I contact every day. I then have my follow-ups, and then if someone says to me, Sarah, can you give me a call in January, I'll do a profile sheet on them. Normally I only do profile sheets on someone if they've been shown a business presentation or they've sat down and had a one-to-one, but if they haven't and they've asked me to contact in January, I'll stick their details in the January tab, and then when I come to January I'll move them into the 1 to 31, whatever date's applicable, and they'll go in there and then I'll follow them up. And that is my toolkit, and obviously my phone, but I've taken the picture with my phone. You've got to ask yourself, what's your toolkit? So in a sense, it doesn't matter where you are internationally, you all need a diary. You all need the Who Do You Know because that's part of our business cycle. You've got to track your work, you've got to have a nice pen, you need a laptop, you need a phone, and you need to keep your data in order. It might be that you use 360 as the CRM tool that we have on there. Whatever it is, you need to make sure that it's efficient. And then what I'd say is, do you plan your time? Time is a costly element. You know, when you go to work, if you're working this around another job, you go to that job and you set yourself to work. You go in knowing what you're going to achieve. You need to do exactly the same with your Forever business. You need to know who your customers are going to be. who you're going to focus on, who you're going to give great customer service to, who you're going to follow up. Because then what happens is when someone has an amazing experience, they then will look to come into your team. Building relationships isn't as easy as people think. So in the earlier days of my business, I built my business through my who do you know. I couldn't advertise on Facebook. I couldn't shout from the rooftops with what I did or what I do today. But I had to do it discreetly. So I'd make sure that my shop front, my Facebook page, was the best it could be. And I would find the 3 things that I wanted to be known as. So mine's time, health and wellness, and family time. And they're the 3 things that I promote about. Because people then see a consistent theme. I'm consistent, I'd like to think that I'm inspiring, and I'd like to think that I'm bright and attracting. Because what you want people to do is you want people to be looking at your Facebook page and going, well, what's Sara up to today? I'm going to go and take a look. And I also build on Instagram, and I build on other social network markets and platforms. But for me, Facebook was how I built my business. So my team, I joined the business and I made supervisor in 3 weeks. How did I do that? Because I became the product. I was a product of the product. I sold 38 clean 9s in my first 3 weeks. Now I know the case credits, the case credits are the same, but the cost is different around the world. When I joined 3 years ago, the case credit was 0.547, so I got to supervisor quickly. But my entire business is built on the clean 9. Why the clean 9, you ask? Well, it's a repeatable business. It's a referral product. So anyone that's done my clean 9 has referred it on to other people and given me new customers. Anyone that's done the clean 9 will come back twice a year as long as you've given them amazing customer service. When I say, are you a product of the product? You cannot really go and promote the clean 9 if you don't know how it works. And then obviously we've got the other 2 programs. So in the UK, we've still only got Fit 1 and Fit 2. We're waiting for F15 to be launched. But when that comes out, I'll be straight on it so that I can talk to my customers at how it works and what levels they need to come in at. But if you can't talk about it, how can you advise and give an amazing service? Now, whatever the price is for this product, do not undervalue yourself. Do not undervalue your brand. Do not undervalue forever. This isn't a business where we should be undercutting. This isn't a business where we should be saying, yeah, I'll give you a discount. That's eating into your profits. You need to build a sustainable retail base. So in my business, anyone in my team always gets to 4 case credits by pure retail. And by that we say you use half a case credit to 1 case credit a month personal, and then the other 3 or 3.5 is by repeat customers and new customers. The great thing with the clean 9 is you will get gel drinkers from it. You will get shake drinkers from it. You will get some people that maybe will use all the products. You will get people that will join you. But what happens is if you discount that product and you sell it to someone and you're not bothered about making money, but you're bothered about the sale because you want the case credits, and that person then joins your team, what have you shown that person? You've shown that person that it's not about the value of the product, it's just about case credits. And that isn't what we're about. I would rather have more money and sell this at the full price and get the 18% back in my pocket on profit, rather than sell it at the 18% discount and just sell a product. That to me isn't business savvy. Do you walk into a shop and you see a product you like and you say, can I have a discount? No. You buy the product at the price it has listed. I think the thing is, when we work for ourselves, we think, well, I've got to hit my 4 case credits, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. You haven't got to do anything. There's a desire. You joined this business for a reason. You had a vision. You were excited. You've got to go back to that and understand, why would you devalue yourself and your brand and your reputation? This product is at a great value. If people say to me, Sara, it's really expensive, what I say to them is, well, let me break that down for you. And they go, oh wow, that works out at about £10 a day. I'm like, yes, £10 a day. I can assure you that you will spend more on coffees and sandwiches in that day, and that isn't giving you a lifestyle change. Remember, the Clean 9 is a lifestyle change where you feel the benefits from inside out. In the UK, we're heavily restricted on what we can say from a compliance perspective. And I'm not sure if you have that same issues too. Obviously, we're EU compliant, but you've really got to think about how you're portraying the product and what they gain from it. I think too many people focus on buy this product and lose X amount in X days. This product will mean something different to every single person. No two people will get the same results, but every single person should pay the same price for that product, because what do people do? They talk. If you sell a product to one of your friends and then they've got a friend they refer it to, guess what? Their friend is going to want it at the same price. And then when you showcase that and you get a team member joining you, they're then going to repeat it, and that becomes a duplicatable system, and that isn't what you want. You want them to follow the system, you want them to follow the retail price that's gauged within the book. Be proud to be an ambassador of Forever Living. It's an incredible brand to be a part of. So for me, the product, no matter what the product is, retail correctly. Do not undercut people. In my team, if people undercut, or they don't undercut because they know it is absolutely a no-no. Be ethical. Be ethical to yourself. Why would you undercut someone for a quick sale? That looks desperate and it's not professional. True business leaders do not undercut. Do you think when I bought my Clean 9 from Ange, she knew I was a big earner? Oh, I'll give her a discount. Absolutely not. I paid full price. I think I paid something like, I think it was £154 when I bought it, and she could have bought it for maybe 108. She didn't offer me any discount. I paid the full price. I didn't even dream of asking for a discount. So what I'd say is start retailing your products at full price. And the difference between the wholesale and retail, put that profit in a jar. And at the end of that month, have a look at how much retail you actually are making as in profit. Because remember, if you sell this at full price and people buy from your direct shop, you also then get paid your percentage from Forever. The higher the price, the more money in your pocket. Remember that. It's really, really important. So building relationships is face-to-face. It's about word of mouth. It's about referrals. It's about connections. But do it in a way that you would want someone to connect with you. Don't just send someone a Facebook friend request and not know anything about them and then spam them all about your products, spam them all about your business. That's not how to build a credible business. On my page, I very rarely say join me, join me, join me, or buy a product. I do it indirectly. I've actually got people coming to me saying, what is it you do? You look like you have loads of fun. Because that's what we're doing. If we're not having fun in this business, we're actually not working our business correctly. So next time you go to sell a product, a Clean 9, think about what you want to be known for. Oh, that's that lady or that gentleman that she'll give you a discount or he'll give you a discount. They're not really that bothered about what you pay. That is not what you want to be known for. You want to be known for, do you know what, if you buy a Clean 9 from that person, the service, the support, the motivation, everything you get from that person is just incredible. I would recommend them to anyone. That's what you want. So the Clean 9 will help your team and your businesses grow. What I'd say is this month, or for December, why don't you, all of you in your own teams, get all of your team on a challenge and get them to buy a Clean 9, do some selfie pictures, and do a massive collage with everyone's picture of the Clean 9. How powerful does that look? We're coming into the sort of Christmas, New Year season where people want to get fit, people want to feel good. Why not start being the product and sharing it with people? Entice people to want to know about it. Maybe get groups together and have Clean 9 parties. You could do different types of parties with it coming up to Christmas about the products. It doesn't have to be the Clean 9, but that is what I built my business on, because it's the best retailing product, it's the most repeatable product, and it's the most referral product. And you will get customers and team members from it. So that's why I personally focus on the Clean 9. Yes, I focus on lots of other products, but for me, this is a staple of my business. What I'd say is, with this, do you lead your team in the right way? Because remember, I hate the saying, but it's a monkey see, monkey do. If you discount, they'll discount. If you spam, they'll spam. You need to get out of the habit of doing that and looking at how you're going to build a credible business around it. Sorry, my little girl just came in. I just shut the door. It's really important that you lead by example and you want your team to follow. So whenever you do anything, ask yourself, would Rex Morn approve? Because at the end of the day, we're an ambassador for Rex Morn. He's an incredible man, an incredible family vision, an incredible family business. And every time I do something, I always ask myself, would Rex Morn approve? Because believe me, they see everything. Be unique to you, stand out, but be proud of what you're doing. So what is customer service? This will mean different things to different people, but I'd like to think, for me, I obviously have a good customer service because I've had so many people join me from using a product. I've had so many people willing to refer a product. So I have some things set up. So I have a customer group. I've got like a customer VIP page, and anyone that's bought a product, I haven't just added them. I've asked their permission. I've told them what they're going to gain from the group, and then I've added them when they've said yes. I've then also got support pages for Clean9. So it's a secret group, and they get added in whether they're looking at the product or they've bought the product, and they can see that it's a 24/7 support group where we share support, motivation, we share health tips, we share recipe ideas, we go live in there, we're encouraging. And sometimes the view is, well, I just add someone in and the group will sell it. Absolutely not. I always say to my team, you only add someone in once you've shown them how the plan works, what they're going to get from it, and what they'll gain from the group. People posting pictures, people support each other, and that's where a lot of my team came from starting to support other members in the group, even though they weren't an FBO. And then what I'd say is, well, look, you've had amazing results, you're on day 5, and I can already see that you're commenting on other customers' posts. I really would value half an hour to share more about what I do, because you're doing it and not getting paid. And then when you put it in that sort of place and share with them that, you know, you're already doing it and I'm taking a cut of that rather than you being able to take some income, why don't I show you? A great customer service is I never sell 1 bottle of yellow drinking gel to 1 customer a month, because 1 gel isn't going to help anyone. That's the whole point of having the 30-day money-back guarantee, because it takes a month to get into their system. So a month they need at least a minimum of 3 bottles. Here in the UK, we say a minimum of 100 ml a day on an empty stomach. But in the UK, we actually have a different lead time for returns, but I think yours is 30 days. But, you know, it's being honest and being sincere and not trying to just go after a sale, but trying to think how you can then upsell to your customer. If someone does a Clean9, I send them a couple of Blossom tea bags, and I send them some sachets of the heat lotion, because here in the UK we have sample packs. If you don't have that, then maybe you want to gift them as a thank you for ordering, or if they've buddied up, what I tend to do is I get people doing it and then they invite their friend or their partner, and by recommending it to someone else, rather than giving them a discount, because I don't believe in discount, I'll give them a free product in return. What that then gives me is I'm upselling product, I've introduced a new product. If they're local, when I take the Clean9 round, I then empty the box, talk them through it, let them know what they can expect, but I also take a pup basket. It's some products in a pack that I think they would like to have a pamper. So I might put in the Aroma Spa kit, I might put some heat lotion in that will help with the headaches. And I say, look, here's a pack I'd love you to trial alongside your Clean9. It will definitely help in the first 3 days where you want to relax, get some early nights and have some soak in the baths. And then what I've done is I've introduced more products. And I'm continually in touch every day. When they get their pack, if they're not local, I send them a video, a demo video that I've recorded of what's in their pack and how to take it. I share with them what they can expect from the gel, how it's going to taste. When their pack arrives, I get them to put the gel straight in, and then I get them to take for 2 days, just 30 or 60 ml of the aloe to get it into their body. Prior to them doing their Clean9, I tell them to start thinking about a 5-day pre-cleanse, so that's cutting down on caffeine, starting to get eat healthily, maybe start introduce a bit of exercise. I try and understand what their plan is and what their goal is and what they want to achieve from it. I send them exercise ideas, I send them recipe ideas. So I literally don't just sell a product. I'm not just after a case credit. I'm after longevity. And that's what I've coached to my team. And that's why I've been able to sustain a business of 100cc open and grow my business to the level I have. So within Ange Loughran's team, she's got 20 managers and I'm her second biggest manager business. So I'm obviously doing something right. It's not easy, no, but I'm consistent. I'm there for my team and I'm there for my customers. It's really, really important that we do supply the right support to our teams and to our customers. You know, some team members need to be guided, they need to be shown. Some of our customers need to be handheld right through what they're using. You don't just buy a product, off they go, read the instructions. How better service is that than giving them a walkthrough of what they can get, how it can work, what maybe will complement other things. But there's different ways of supporting your customers and your team. And in a way, they go hand in hand. You know, when someone's new in my team, I don't expect them just to run with it. The first product anyone in my team purchases the Clean 9, obviously because of the way my business has been built, and that's the first product they will focus on. One, because they're using the gel, the shakes, the Garcinia, and the Therm, and the fibre. So they've already got 5 products in them straight away. They also then obviously have their Bob box. You guys have your Touch of Forever. Plenty of products in there for people to start using, getting in and on them, and then showcasing. But you've got to provide the right support. So my team always have a plan and review at the beginning of the month. We show them how to become 4cc active. We break it down. We don't say focus on 4cc. What we focus on is we focus on the profit of what someone can earn. Because some people will say 4cc is really hard. Well, guess what? It's going to be hard. If you think it's hard, it's going to be hard. Whereas if I said to someone in my team, look, November and December, let me show you how I can help you earn £278 minimum this month. And that's a difference for when they hit their 4cc. That's, you know, that's a nice little bit of extra money. But they can earn more than that, should they wish, but it's down to the activity. It's down to the right income-producing activities, and it's my job to support them in showing them what income-producing activities are. I'm just looking at what other questions. So when you have problems along the way with Forever, you know, it's my job to help and support and guide people. And I think too many people brush it under the carpet. You know, within teams, you've got to set your boundaries, you've got to set some rules. You know, if someone's added to my Clean 9 group and another customer comments and another FBO then tries to take that sale, they get kicked out of the group. That's a no-no. We don't do that. We support and we encourage each other. Problems will come up, but you've got to deal with them in the right way. You want to work your business in a way that you want to be seen and you want to be credible and you want to get repeatable business. If you're treating this, like I said earlier, as a hobby, it's going to pay as a hobby and it will cost you. And I think the thing that people do when they have problems is they don't deal with them head on. Try and understand why that problem's arisen. So I know in Greece, Michael was saying earlier to me that retail hasn't been the strongest point. Why not? How do you build your businesses? This business is nothing without the product, Forever Living. So you absolutely need to get 20 to 30 customers, what we say here in the UK, buying regularly. Now 20 to 30 is a lot, so start off with 5 to 10. Look for some repeat business. 5, 6 gel drinkers, some tooth gel users, some Sonia's skincare, some shakes, some RG. But find out what your niche is and what you're going to focus on and get your retail going. Mine is weight management and sports nutrition. I haven't used all the products in the range. How can I? There's far too many. But what I'd like to think is the products that I do talk to and the products I use, I can talk with confidence. Let me ask you this question. How many products do you each use daily? I use 32 a day. 32. So after tonight, write down how many products you use. Because if you're not putting case credits through your business and you're an FBO, shame on you. Because we all need to clean our teeth, we all need to wash our hair, we all take some sort of supplement, and we all put some sort of cream on our body. Most men shave, ladies shave their legs. People put perfume aftershave on. Yes, the aftershave and perfume might not be to our personal taste, But do you know what? When you're the product and someone smells you or someone sees your makeup on you and they say, what's that? Oh, that's one of my products for my business. How powerful is that? Do you use the propolis cream or the aloe moisturising lotion for your hands and you've got it in your handbag? Who's got chapped lips and puts their aloe lips on? Who gets tired and needs energy and gets their bee pollen out when they're out in company? As ladies, I don't know if you have the light up lip glosses in Greece, but in the UK, when it's dark and you put your light up lip gloss on, conversation starter. Who carries products with them that they can get them out and showcase them straight away? That is being a product and leading from the front. That is how you show support to your team. I would never ask my team to do something that I wasn't willing to do myself. Is this business hard? Yes, I won't lie. But is this business worth it? Absolutely. This business has changed mine and my family's life beyond recognition. No 2 days are the same. There are obstacles, there are problems, but we deal with them. I deal with them in a way that I'd like to think people go, do you know what? That was really helpful. I have people come to my house all the time. People who aren't even in my downline, not even in my pay line, nothing to do with my business, they're cross line. It's an open door policy. If I can help someone, great. If it fits in my schedule, fine. At the end of the day, I have to focus on my team first. I have to focus on my new business. I always look to recruit. You can't just build your business on retail. You need your 4 CCs done on retail, and then you always must look to grow your team. Because if you don't grow your team, you're never going to climb the marketing plan. And climbing the marketing plan is what opens up the door for the Eagle retreats. It opens up the chairman's bonus. It opens up the earned incentive. So you need to be bringing in new team members every day. So income-producing activities, to give you an example, is I go to bed every night and ask myself, have I rung my till? And that is conversations. It's about building relationships. It's about adding people to my who do you know. It's about sharing the products. It's about doing launches. And by launches, I mean online, showcasing the products, or going to someone's home. They get a group of friends and I show the products to them. I also then share the opportunity. It's about doing Dear Neighbour letters. So I do a little spiel and I walk around the community and post them into people's houses. I don't just do 1 drop, I'll do 4, 5, 6 drops to the same house over a period of 6 weeks. It's about engaging with people in conversations in shops, just to build a rapport, not to necessarily share what I do straight away. Think about how you want to be known for and how you want to be building your business. I would not build my business in a way that I'd find cheesy. I build my business in a way that I think is the right way. People look at me and go, well, I like how you do business, Sara. I do it in a manner that is me. I'm not trying to mirror someone else because that's not unique to me. I think the thing is, you've got to be the best version of you. Do not compare. No 2 people will have the same goals, the same why, the same work ethic, the same desires, the same network, the same support. No one will have the same mindset. What you can do from tonight is start working on your mindset, believe in your own ability, and go out and smash this month. You can all hit 4 case credits this month. Think of the retail profit for Christmas. Or, if you haven't, go and buy a Clean 9 this month and be the best version of you. Because I can tell you now, if you start becoming more of the product and you're sharing that and duplicating that within your teams, your businesses will soar. They really, really will. It's just an incredible product. I just love it. And seeing the results you get for people is just incredible. I've got one customer who has done the Clean 9. She had a break. She then did another Clean 9 and she did the Fit 1 and Fit 2. And she lost over 3.5 stone. And she said it was the first time in 6 years that she had had a photograph with her son and was willing to share it because she felt proud of her achievement. She was happy. Her inner self was happy. How incredible is that, knowing that you've helped someone? I haven't just sold her a product and said, get on with it. Even after she's finished, I'm still in touch because I'm building relationships. Because I can tell you what, they will remember you. They will remember how amazing you were. And they'll remember the amazing brand that you are. And they'll remember the amazing company that you work with. So I hope that helps, Michael. Do you want to open up for questions?
I'm here. Okay, yeah. We have a question. The first one is says, at which moment do you offer the business opportunity to a retail customer? So let's say I'm buying a clean line from you.
Yeah.
And I would buy it at retail, as you said. So when would you offer me the business opportunity at the very first second, or would you wait for me to finish it, or tell us a little bit about it?
So it depends on the person, but normally I wait till about day 4 or 5 because they're excited on day 3 because most people lose weight because obviously you haven't eaten much and you've had less calories go into your body and you've lost water, so they're excited. And then day 4 they're feeling really great because they've eaten, and then they start commenting on other people's posts if you have a support group, and it's at that point I share the opportunity. I say what we now need to be doing is thinking about post day 10. So this isn't just about 9 days for me, it's about how can I help you 10 days and beyond. Is it that you want an aftercare plan? Is it that you want to go on to the Fit 1 or Fit 2 or the F15, which will be appropriate soon? But I say at that point, and then they'll come back and say, well, I want to carry on the products, and say, well, that's great. What I would advise is, if you don't have a retail business to begin with, build up your retail business first. Because what I have done in the past is I've had so many people join me from a clean line that it's wiped my retail business out. So you do need some regular customers, but some people you'll know if the business is for them. You sort of get chatting, you're building that relationship, you're finding that hot button. So it's lots of questions, finding out about them. And as they go along with a program, I always ask why they're doing it, what's their goal, what do they want to achieve. So I'm finding out about them. And then at the appropriate point, I'll say, well, look, we've got an incredible business behind this. Just like I've shared this with you, you could share it with others and you could earn an incredible business from it. And the best part is you're already the product. And then I sort of see where it goes from there.
Fair enough. I have another one. Some people are afraid, some FBOs are afraid not to offer the business opportunity from start. So they would say, I need to tell them about the discount because if I don't tell them about the discount, maybe somebody else would, and therefore I would lose them. What would you answer to that?
Well, you could lose them anyway because they might go, well, actually, you're just trying to sell me a product and you want me to join your team. I think it depends who they are and how well the relationship is. Personally, I would never dream of someone before they've started the plan saying, look, you can buy this product at a discounted price, because I only ever bring people into my business on where they come in on the 1.085, they buy the box. I never sign anyone up on a clean line because I feel I'm doing them a disservice because they don't get the full box of products. So no one in my team who's joined after they've done a clean line has said to me, why didn't you tell me about the discount? People have got to stop worrying about that. This is a business. You want to get a sale, and believe me, very few people don't love the product once they've been on the plan. The business might not be for them, fine, but they'll know someone that they can refer the product to because they've loved the product. But if you share that beforehand, it could put them off buying the product.
All right. We have an FBO from Cyprus asking, what if they have not seen results in the products they're using and they haven't seen any difference? How would you answer to that?
So I would question, did they take their measurements and everything? Because some people are purely set on weight loss, and as we know, this plan will work differently for different people. I've had people, so we don't sell it as a weight loss plan here in the UK. It's a cleanse to feel good from the inside out. So if people have got better energy levels, they've got better skin, and they've lost inches rather than weight, then, you know, I haven't said buy my plan and lose X amount of weight. I think it depends on what you're saying to them that they're going to achieve from it and how you're setting the expectation. Because then I try and understand, well, what type of exercise have you done, and share with me the type of food that you've been eating. Because 9 times out of 10, very few people don't lose and very few people don't get great results. The people that don't get great results haven't stuck to the plan and they haven't exercised and they've eaten the wrong food.
So you take them through by asking questions and seeing the way if they
Yeah.
follow through the way they're described.
Totally. And given that I'm hand in hand with them, I message them at the beginning of the day and I speak to them at the end of the day. I've got an idea of how they're going. So if day 3 they're feeling great, I always say weigh yourselves on day 1, 3, and 10. I never get anyone to weigh on day 6 because what happens is day 6 is the calories account catching up from day 3 and their body hasn't leveled. But by day 10, I know they finish on the 9, but on day 10, the body will have adjusted and that weight they potentially maybe put on, half a pound or a quarter of a pound, that would have disappeared by day 10. So that's why I take them through hand in hand every step of the way what they're going to achieve.
Super. Any other questions, guys? Ερωτήσεις άλλες αν έχουμε, μπορείτε να τις γράψετε και στα ελληνικά επίσης. Τα βλέπω εγώ, οπότε τα μεταφέρω. I have a question here. You have a question here talking again about at which point do you offer the 15% discount? So you said that you don't.
I don't offer any discount on the Clean 9. If they finish the plan and they become a regular customer and maybe they refer somebody to me, I might give them a gift, a product. I very, very rarely give a discount because I'm eating into my profits and I'm here to earn an income.
Well, the discount here, I guess they're talking more about signing them up. So
I've never signed, oh, that's a lie. In my early days, I did sign people up on the Clean 9 and it was wasteful because I've lost them as a customer because they don't even buy the product now. I don't, so I don't get anyone joining on a Clean 9.
Clean 9 is not a recruiting tool for you.
Yeah, no, it is a recruiting tool, but it's a recruiting tool once they do the Clean 9 and then they join me, but they buy the bigger box. They don't join on a Clean 9 because all they're doing is getting 15% discount, and they don't get, they don't get paid on it. Why would I do that? I'd rather someone buy the bigger box, get 30% off the product, and if they wish, they can then get 5% back in their pocket should they wish to retail anything. So the difference from 108 to 199 isn't a lot in it for an extra 15% in their pocket.
I see.
But I appreciate that cost for some people, that they might want someone to join on the Clean 9. But I never, ever lead with the Clean 9 as in joining on that product. Just buy a Clean 9 and then come in and just get your 15% discount. Because for me, if I'm honest, you're doing them a disservice. You're taking away, because some people will then struggle to do 2 cc's worth of products within a 2-month period. Because if they're only buying a gel and a shake for themselves, that isn't going to amount to 2 cc's, so they're never going to get more than 15%. 30% is more attracting to people, knowing that you could refer this to a couple of friends and you don't need to do much with it. You just talk about it, you share how it works, we'd be here to support, and then you'll get 30% discount for life. That is more appealing to a lot of people, or here in the UK anyway.
All right. Another question is, how do you expand your customer list, your customer base list?
So it's just like my who do you know list. So for instance, I've got a lady tomorrow at school. She's a big fitness freak. So I have put like a basket together of some sports products and I've asked her to trial them for 3 days to give me feedback. I know she's going to love some of them and she's going to buy some of them. And then I'm going to ask her, who else do you know that's really sporty that would love to try this? And then I build my customer base that way. We do stores, we do launches. 9 times out of 10, once someone's bought one product, they'll buy another. It's just about upselling. So if someone wants to buy 2 gels, I say, well, why don't you buy 3? And then get another product. Like I might throw in a hand sanitizer. I'm always introducing little products, or like I say, at a local, I'll take an experience pack round with products in, they can trial them and then say, well, who do you know that would like to hold a launch and I can showcase more products to? And I'll bring the Prosecco, you get all the people together, and then I'll bring my basket of products and we can showcase that to your friends. So it's not being afraid to ask people to have like little parties, get-togethers for you. It might be that if you've got children and the mums or the dads say, oh, I'm really lacking in energy and conversation, always have a few products with you. You know, the bee pollen. Have you not tried bee pollen? Well, what does bee pollen do? Oh, it's an amazing energy food. It's great for energy. It's great for this. Look, let me drop some off to you. Try it for 3 days, and know you're going to get benefit from it, and then you can purchase your own. And then I send them my shop link.
Excellent.
If you don't share the product, we're not going to build a customer base or grow our customer base.
So getting the product in their hands, basically.
Yeah, totally. Always. So I'd say to people on here tonight, if you're a lady, go to your handbag and absolutely go and look and empty it and look what Forever products you have in there, or what products you could replace with Forever products.
Okay, well, we have another one here. So the question is, so you only recruit business-minded partners and not consumers, is the question.
No, I do recruit some consumers. Some people, as I say, have come through from the products that I didn't even know. I'm still working through my who do you know list, even though I've been doing this 2 years full time. I've got a massive network, because for the first 2 years of my business, I couldn't talk about it to people. So I was really, really limited. And I didn't talk to hardly any of my corporate colleagues. So my team is predominantly corporate, lots of lawyers and barristers and police officers and doctors. But I do have a few mummies. But because I've never been a full-time mummy till now, I need to build more with like-minded people that I am today. But I do have some consumers in my business, but not. I've probably got, some have dropped off from the early days, but predominantly now most of my team work this part-time. I've got very few people that do it full-time.
All right, let me see. I have a couple of them, so I'm trying to sort them up for you. Okay. So regarding the previous question about expanding your list, I would be on a one-to-one base, or it would be on a presentation or a party, as you said, to expand your customer list.
In lots of different ways, face-to-face, online, social media, parties, networks. You can go out and get stalls, showcase your products, be proud of your products. You don't necessarily always sell a product when you go to these events, but what you do is you build up a database. So you're building to your network. I always, where I can, have something open in my bag when people go, oh, have you got any hand cream or whatever? Propolis is a great one, especially in this horrible cold weather here in the UK. When I was on holiday in Greece, I've got 6 people looking at the business opportunity from the resort. I had my sunscreen there on the table. I had my gel in the room. I had the aloe lips out. I had the RG there. I got 3 customers while I was there on the RG from going to the gym. So, you know, when you go to the gym, are you taking your RG bottle and don't go with it made, make it up there in front of people? Have you got a see-through wash bag and you've got all the Forever products in there and you make a noise when you get them out and people go, what's that, what's that, or what's that? Conversation-based. It's being visible with everything we do.
Okay, great questions, great answers, by the way. Let me give you another one here. We have an FPO from Cyprus asking just to run us through the communication you have with a Clean9 customer. Let's say I buy a Clean9 from you. The question is basically, they're afraid that there will be too much pressuring, pressuring the customer by calling him every day or something. So how do you handle the communication?
Is this once someone's bought a Clean9?
Yes, I believe, yeah, the customer that he's doing the Clean9 during the 9 days.
Okay, so I already set expectations before they start the plan. I say, look, I'm with you every step of the way of your journey. So I want you to, they've already had what it entails and how it works. If they're local, I take it to them and we talk through it. And then on day 1, I just message to make sure that they've had their aloe first thing, to check they're okay. And then I'll say, I'll check in later to see how you're going. Because remember, if you have done it, day 1, you're on the adrenaline. Day 2 is tougher. Some people suffer with headaches because they haven't pre-cleansed, so then I'm confirming it's okay, it's normal. Get an early night, have a nice hot bath, soak off, you're going to feel better in the morning. On day 2, I just touch in, maybe mid-morning to check they're okay. Normally it's thanks so much, feeling good, woke up with more energy. Normally mid-afternoon or early evening, they're hungry. So I sort of say, don't forget to fill up on some hot water and lemon. Don't forget your free foods. Did you take your last gel? And then on day 3, on the support page, I tag them in going day 3, but you can't wait for your, bet it's great that you've had less gel today, because a lot of people hate the gel, unfortunately. And then I say, enjoy that extra shake for breakfast, and let me know what your 600 calorie meal or 800 calorie meal is going to be today. So I'm making it in that way. I'm not too intense, but they already know I'm going to be doing that. Now, if they say, look, can you just touch base once, or that you don't need to be in touch, that would worry me, because I don't know they're going to get the best from it. And I don't want anyone buying this plan not to get the best from it. So my role as a customer service agent is to make sure they get value for money from it. So I'm not intense. It's a quick message, a text, it might be a Facebook message. I don't normally call them. I leave a little message or a voice message them, and then it's up to them if they respond. But I feel that's a good thing to do, because they know you care. It's not just about a sale. Too many people sell a product and don't care about their results. And then when someone rings and says, oh, I've not done well on the plan, you've not been there with them. You've not been able to turn it around for them.
All right, I think we covered that question now. Let me see, I have another one here. On the price. So let's say I'm a customer and I think that your product is a little bit expensive and for detox, and basically I would like to cut down on the product. So how would you handle that customer?
So I'd say, first of all, I'd say I totally understand where you're coming from, but our product is superior. Let me break that down to what that would cost you daily, and what you get and how much saving you're going to be making, because they're not going to be buying food for the first 2 days per se. It's just going to be light foods. It's going to be like your free foods. And if they're still adamant it's expensive, I'd say, well, look, why don't you just do the shake and the gel? So you get them having a shake for breakfast, shake for lunch, and a 600 calorie meal for the evening. So you don't want to lose a sale totally. And at that point, if someone wants a discount, it's up to them, but I wouldn't. I'd then get them on an aftercare plan and something that's more amenable. Because once you've discounted, they will always expect a discount. I've got a regular customer who doesn't have a lot of money. She buys 3 bottles of gels, 2 shakes, and 2 Garcinias every month.
Sarah, so this customer buys this product from you and they're buying at retail.
Yes.
Do you ever think of the possibility of somebody else coming along and offering this person,
Yes.
the possibility of having these products at wholesale or at NCP?
Yeah, in this instance, she actually was a really regular customer. This is the lady who lost 3.5 stone, and then she went really quiet, even though I was in touch. And she said, I just didn't want to bother you because you always come out of your way to drop it off. I said, it's no bother to me. And she said, well, I've just got a new lady who's part of Forever, who lives a couple of doors up, because she'd stopped ordering for about 2 months, and I couldn't understand why, because she was still visible and active on Facebook. And this is a great example, actually. And I said, well, what's she doing? She said, well, she'll drop round with some stuff. This FBO kept promising and promising and never delivered. She said, you could have it at cost. She wasn't in it she didn't want to make money, but she never went round to help or follow up. She was just after a sale, and Sarah at the time said, well, okay, not now, but maybe next month you can come back because I've still got some gel. And the lady never went round. And then when I messaged Sarah and she said, well, look, this lady said she can offer me this, I said, well, that's really not a good practice, is it? I said, why don't you continue to buy from me, and how about I introduce some new products to you? So when she places her order every month, because she's buying it at full price, I gift her a product to say thank you. So like a bit of a reward card.
Very nice.
Because that's a lot of case credits I could have lost.
But you're not afraid of it?
No, no, because I'm true to myself. Unfortunately, these FBOs that undercut and worry about it aren't going to build a business. Those people that are undercutting at that level are not going to build a sustainable business and won't be here for very long. This is about longevity. It might take you a while to build your base up, but be proud of who you are. Do you think Rex Morn goes around discounting his products to people? They're good value products. You know, a propolis cream will last a good 3-4 months. Deodorant stick will last 4 or 5 months. £5 in the UK for a deodorant stick, which costs you what? I don't even know how much that is a day. £1 a month. It's not a lot for a deodorant stick.
True. Very true. Okay, I have 2 last questions. So
Okay.
I'll leave you because I know you're busy. I just saw your schedule and I'm worried that we're taking more time than we promised.
It's fine. No problem.
So one question is this. It's regarding basically how much of a role do you play in your team as an upline, as a manager, and as a sponsor in the first steps of your new member? Let's say I sign up. How many presentations would you do for me, or would you show me until it's time for me to move on without your help and without your presence all the time? Because it's a little bit the question that comes from the FBO. It says that she's a manager herself, and she says, okay, how do I separate, what's my job and what is the FBO's job in my team to do for themselves?
Okay, so I've just had a newbie join me. Very interesting. I'll give you a very brief but full explanation of how it works. She befriended me 2.5 years ago. I then found out she was part of another MLM, but we stayed friends. She's watched me. She's been inspired by me, is what she said. Kept in touch. I liked her posts. And then she joined me 3 weeks ago, which was totally bowled me over because she messaged me saying, I'm now ready to join you. And she's going to be incredible. So she joined on that Thursday night. Friday we had a Skype. The Monday she got her box. I sent her some videos of what to watch. I told her the key, when we had our first planning on that Friday, I showed her the first steps to manager, told her the key pages that I needed her to focus on. We've then had another Skype so I could understand those goals, because I've explained how to work them all and what to do, so she needs to put her own content to them in times. I've then, I have team training every Sunday, and I've set the expectation of what I expect of someone. Now that might sound really hard. I know she's self-employed, but from the early stages I need to tell them what is a requirement of them, because it's a duplicatable business. So if she attends training, she attends success days, she sort of becomes a product of the product, she does product launches, what's she going to do? She's then going to duplicate that with her teams. So by the time I Skyped with her on Saturday, just gone, she's only been in the business 2.5 weeks, she's already got her own business cards, she's already done her Dear Neighbour letters, and I didn't tell her about Dear Neighbour letters, she saw that on the team page. She's already done all the videos, she's done her dream board, so it's visual, she's got her written goals down, and I've just set up and launched it last Friday. I'm doing a supervisor group, supervisor by Christmas, and I've opened that up all to my Flow Mojos, all of the managers in my group, and it was the first 30 people who want to hit supervisor by Christmas. And it's about setting the scene and doing basics. So with a new person, my belief is the first 90 days are the most critical. If you haven't got someone to 90 days as a supervisor, and I put my hand up, and I think as a team, we haven't had enough supervisors coming through because too many people aren't doing the planning correctly. You know, you go on YouTube, check on Jane Leach and John Curtis. There's some other incredible leaders that have done and showed how to do planning sessions, how to do goal setting. You've got to get the connection to the why for that person, and that is their vehicle to get them to where they need to be. But the 90 days, I would like to think that at that point that they've been able to drop off on a few things with my help. So I will show them as often as they need it, but some people will run quicker than others and some will be more needy. Most of my team aren't local. So I have literally built my business up over Skype, especially overseas. I treat them no differently as if they were in person, but if they're in person, then obviously it's easier because it's a show and tell. It's not a tell business. You've got to show them how you do it, and then they're going to repeat it. It's about showing them that the importance of why they've got a why, what the who do you know list is, and then they understand that cycle. And then what I do is I get them all at the beginning of the end of the previous month to set their plans for the next month. And if they want, they can send it to me for accountability, not for me to mark homework, but to make sure they're doing it correctly. And then I expect them to be able to do the same with their teams because they're learning and growing. But for me, the first 90 days is critical. And at that point, it might be that you only touch base with them twice a month, and they don't need to be handheld as much. But it's our job as a leader to guide and show. Does that answer the question?
Pretty much, yes. Thank you so much. One last question. So let's say that FPO that signs up and starts working with you, he's not really following up with all the, all the things that you're asking him to do. Let's say the contact list or the product launch, for example, and starts complaining, or basically is not being very he's not accepting your help. What would you do in that case?
I'd, if they were local, I'd obviously meet them face to face and get them to explain to me why they feel it's not working. I'd strip it right back. I'd get them to do an exercise where, so today is Wednesday, I'd get them to write Wednesday to Wednesday on a sheet of paper, and I'd say, right, tell me what you've done each day from an income producing activity, and tell me how much do you want to be paid by Rex in a month. And let's break that down to a weekly cost. So, okay, you're telling me you've done 4 hours work this week and you want to be paid €3,000. Do you think that amount of work warrants that amount of income? And sometimes making them have a reality check and being a little bit tough. It's not our jobs to do the work for them, but sometimes some people do need to have a bit of accountability, and everyone will work differently. A lot of people struggle to work by themselves. A lot of people aren't focused enough. And it's about maybe getting them involved in some trainings, getting them to host some team trainings. So I host, we go live on Facebook in our team page, and we get different people to come in and share tips. We try and get them to feel a part of it, that they're contributing. Because if you've got people that are coming from a successful background and they're starting forever as a nobody, their credibility and self-worth takes a knock, because they're in their normal arena very well known and respected, and they've come into forever and they're a nobody. And unfortunately, it's a little bit about egos. You need to make them feel that as if they belong and they're respected. And I found that because I've got a big corporate team, and a lot of them have got a lot of egos. And I don't mean egos in a nasty way, but an ego that they feel as if they can add value to me. But if they're an FBO where they're continually disruptive, I'd say, look, you're not helping yourself and you're not helping your team. And if they've got a team at that point, I'd still be keeping an eye, but I'd be working deep and wide with the team. Remember, you don't need an upline to be successful, you need a downline.
Sarah, I think we could wrap it up here. I mean, you've been amazing, very helpful, and really inspiring. Thank you so much for your time and for taking the extra time to answer all these questions. I'm pretty sure everybody's really happy, and I believe we have lots of work to do. You've given us so much. So thank you once again on behalf of everyone here at the FBOs and the management team. And we'll be in touch, of course. We're looking forward to having you one day in Greece. Why not? That will be really nice.
I will send some of my prospects down to the BP at Thessalonica, and you could maybe say hi to them for me.
Surely, and I'm sure a lot of FBOs from Thessaloniki are hearing this. They will be gladly helping out. So it's a big family, and this is what we're always saying in Forever. And you're really showing this very, very clearly. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything.
Pleasure.
And we'll be in touch.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Καληνύχτα.
Καληνύχτα.
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ. Καλό βράδυ.